All the officers, men above me, all the Akim, Yahweh Shamar, Alafan, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to all the sisters. Go ahead, Otto. This is I.S.U.P.K. Monday night history class here in I.S.U.P.K. Decatur in Atlanta, Georgia. We're coming out this evening, bringing out, thus says the Most High according to these scriptures when it comes to our people, historical events and things of that nature. Are there any questions in the classroom? Any questions in the classroom? No questions in the classroom? Well, while we're waiting on questions and before we get into the topic, I need one of you young men or either trooper, pull Baruch chapter 4. We're going to start with that. Baruch chapter 4, and we're going to begin with verse 1. And when you get it, let me get a con out of one con, and we're going to get started with that. Baruch chapter 4, verse 1, in the Apocrypha. Use the microphone. Go ahead.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever.
Keep going.
All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
All right, start right there. It says, this is the book of the law of the commandments of the Most High. The Bible, including the Apocrypha, is what we should go by as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It also says, and the law that endureth forever. You ain't seen nothing on earth endure as long as these scriptures have been out here. For years on top of years on top of years, we've seen different groups come along, different races come along trying to use our records to advance their cause. But when they do those things, what they're failing to realize is it's not for them, it's for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Then we go on and says, all they that keep it shall come to life. So if we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we come to life. We don't get killed off, we don't get knocked off and nothing like that. We come to life because we're doing what the Most High said. If we don't do what he said, it says, it says, but such as leave it shall die. So if you don't do what God says, you're taking a chance of, death. And anything that's not of the Most High is death. You're leading yourself down the path of destruction. And that's what we're talking about tonight. How our people, our ancestors back in time in early 1900s, how coming together, trying to do things with our oppressor and how it turns out to be not what they wanted in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Read the next verse. Verse 2.
Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
It says, turn thee, O Jacob. We got to move away from what we think. What the world presents to us, we got to get away from that. We got to go into what the Most High wants us to do. The Most High wants us to come together. We're going to get into it this evening about how the Most High wants us to come together when we get into this story tonight. But, we're giving ourselves a baseline with this scripture so we'll know what not to do and what we should do. Salaki, did someone just call in? What's going on, Trooper Makulat? You doing all right?
Yeah, come. So you two about the one?
On to all the one. I can't make no question. You got any questions? Anything of that nature? Comments? Go ahead.
Sir, if I could, sir, I want to ask about the massacre, like with being on the topic about in Forsyth County. Remember about with the lake and stuff. That's considered like a massacre too, right?
Say that again now.
In Forsyth County.
Oh yeah, in Forsyth County. You're talking about Forsyth County. Explain it to me what you're saying so the people in the class can get an understanding.
Because where there was some black people in town, and from what I know, I don't know too much about it. But what I was looking at was like they buried the city, like dug it out and flooded it. They flooded it. So until this day, in that lake, until this day, it's still it's that city is still up under
Right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. And
That's a massacre, right?
yeah, it is a massacre. Anytime more than one black man or anybody get killed, you know what I'm saying, with in injustice, it's a massacre. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at what happened in Forsyth County, see, Forsyth County, Georgia has always been racist, you know, but Georgia, period, has always been racist. It's just not in one particular area. And what happened there, it was tragic, completely tragic. For the simple fact, our brothers and sisters didn't know what we know being in the I.S.U.P.K. Us being in the truth right now, we don't have those worries and those issues of being devoured by the other nations. Why? Because of Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life. So when we keep the law, we come to life. We don't have to worry about what's going on with all the other nations. We doing what the Most High said to do, and that's in keeping the law. If you keep the law, the Most High is going to be there on your side all the time. Ain't nothing that you're going to be able to do or say to get around it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be right there with you. But it also says, but such as leave it shall die. So those brothers and sisters that, you know, refuse the law, reject the law, you know what I'm saying, they are playing with their life, and to the point of they could lose it, you know what I'm saying. And anytime our people in America, in Georgia, wherever we are, you know what I'm saying, in this world, on earth, wherever we are, we take the chance as a people to be massacred anyway, because everybody knows we're the chosen people of the Most High. Everybody knows that the Most High favors us. Everybody know that. Everybody knows it. You can see it, you know, when you turn on the television. If they loved you so much, if they loved the black, Hispanic, and Native Americans so much, if they loved us so much, they would give us more than what they give us. They would treat us better than what they treat us. But because they know that the promises and what the Most High have given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is for us, the remnant, they can't stand it because they know they don't get that blessing. They don't get that protection. And that's why things like Forsyth County happen. And we're going to get into Elaine, Arkansas here in a minute. That's why those things happen, because our oppressor and the heathen nations, they all know our history. They know our story. They know who we are. They know this. We're the only ones that don't know it. So if we come in the truth and we start acting in and doing the things that we're supposed to do according to the scriptures, can't nobody touch us. Because remember now when Moses went into Egypt and they celebrate the Passover, you know, very first Passover, your independence, black man. When they did that, you know, the Most High showed his power, you know what I'm saying, by, you know, passing over the Israelites and, you know, putting that hit out on the Africans, you know what I'm saying, the Egyptians. He put the hit out on the firstborn of their children, their livestock, everything. Firstborn, it had to go. They had to feel some pain based on they were messing with the Most High's favorite children, his favorite creation of everything, us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So when we fall off and not do what he say, he gonna fall off and not do what he say. And we see that every day. We got folks walking the street like zombies every day. Because they don't, you know, they fell from their first estate, which is what? Being princes of the power, being Israel. When you forget to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, when you choose not to do it, you know what I'm saying, whether you heard of it or not, you still gonna reap the punishment of it. You still gonna reap the benefits of it if you do it. So anything that has anything to do with killing our people, it's a massacre anyway, because we are God's chosen people. It should be billed as a massacre anytime we get killed. Any black man that gets killed, it should be #1 headline, especially when it's by the oppressor. Because if it's by the oppressor, you can't. It's only him going to war with you. You can't have warfare if you fighting the air or nobody. You got to have an enemy. Our oppressor's natural enemy is us. The natural enemy to a zebra is a lion. So if the lion is you know, not attacking the zebra no more, what do we have there? We don't have anything. We don't have anything, but only thing we do have is each other right now. And having each other, when we have each other, it's all in It's all in what the Most High wants us to do, and that's to come together. And we're finna pull a couple of scriptures here in a second. Keep reading that. Go into read verse 2 again, because Truth Michael, what you just brought out is heavy, and verse 2 is a part of what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Now, when you turn away from all that which is wrong, which is against the Most High, that's the first step. And then it says, walk in the presence of the light thereof. What is the light? The law, statutes, and commandments. You got that light right there. Then you got Christ right there to show you how to keep it. So if you got all those things, and you see Christ out there, you know what I'm saying, doing what he's doing, showing you how to keep the law, showing you how to do right by your brother, how you do right by your sister, showing you true brotherhood as a nation. He's showing you how to do it. When you do those things, the Most High is right there telling you, you know, I'm on your side. When you do these things, it says that thou mayest be illuminated. When you illuminated, that means you shining down on somebody. You shining bright so everybody can see. You're shining so that folks can see what's going on in the way they should go. It's like a lighthouse for a boat. Y'all seen the lighthouse on the coast? It's just turning and turning. It's doing its job, alerting the boats that are far off that land is approaching. The same thing with us as Israelites. When people see us, they're supposed to be like, wow, what they're doing, I need to be doing it, because they're not going to jail. They not sleeping with their brother's wife. You know what I'm saying? They not touching the little babies. You know what I'm saying? They ain't out here committing all horrible abominations. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's being that light to your people. Let's get verse 3 there.
Come. Verse 3. Give not thine honor to another.
Say that again.
Give not thine honor to another.
Say that one more time.
Give not thine honor to another.
Black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people, some of our brothers and sisters give what is theirs, which is that power seat, that thing that the Most High gave us, that blessing. They want to give it away. You know what I'm saying? But here it says, give not thine honor to another. So when you want to, show all this respect and this gratitude, and you want to help out the heathen nations, though your enemies, when you want to help those folks out, you're not helping your nation. You're uplifting and building somebody else's nation. Read that next part.
Come. Know the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. That's
what happened in Forsyth County. That's what happened in Elaine, Arkansas, what we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. When you give what's yours to another nation, you're not gaining, you're losing. But when you give it to your brothers, you're pouring into your brothers, and your brothers are going to turn around and pour it right back into you. Right. And it's a circle, it's a cycle. And that's what we got to go. Read this last verse, and we're going to come back to chapter 4. But read verse 4.
Come. Verse 4. O Israel, happy are we for the things that are pleasing to God. Happy are we for the things that are pleasing to God. What's pleasing to the Most High is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. When you keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, you're pleasing the Most High. When you're being a brother to your brother, when you're out feeding the homeless, feeding the hungry, when you're out giving, when you're healing the sick, you know what I'm saying? When you open the eyes of the blind, because we all were blind at one point. We were all walking in our own lust in the world. But when we heard the Most High call, we answered. And he took that chafe off our eyes, those blinders off our eyes, so that we can see more. And we can, move in the direction of, righteousness. Did somebody just call in?
Yes, Salaki. So this is Santiva.
How you doing today, sis?
Still got a bad little cold, but I'm doing.
Okay. It better to be on this side than the other side.
I'm telling you. Thank you.
If you have any questions or anything like that, just say Salakia. But right now, just put your phone on mute. When you do have a question, just bring it out. All right?
I got it. Thank you.
The water, sis. So when you knowing that the Most High is pleased by you keeping the laws, you know what I'm saying? That should make you want to keep the laws. It should make you want to do the right thing. You know what I'm talking about? Verse 5, last verse of this, it says, "Be of good cheer, my people. the memorial of Israel. We are the memorial of Israel. And it's saying to be of good cheer. How can we be of good cheer when every day we turn on the TV, somebody's being killed by the oppressor, or we killing ourselves, or, all types of different abominations that we commit? How can we be of good cheer knowing that we see our brothers and sisters doing the wrong thing? How can we, somebody tell me, somebody help me. How can we as a people be of good cheer? We just read it. We just read it. How can we be of good cheer? Go back to verse 4. Just look at verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. So the things that are made pleasing to the Most High, keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments, if we do that, we can be in good cheer. With all this stuff going on around us in this world, we could be of good cheer just based on the fact of I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Even though things look grim and dreary right now, even though that's going on, we still could be in good cheer because we have the Most High on our side. Even though right now we're in the condition in the state we in, we still have the Most High on our side. Only thing we got to do is turn from our wickedness. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do. Young man Charles, pull that first article I sent to you. True Mark, was that what you were looking for? Trouble Mark, Might be driving. So we're going to move on. We're going to bring out a couple of articles here today. Talking about the Elaine massacres. The Elaine massacre. Now, when you think about massacres, a lot of us think about, Red Summer. When all the big cities, right after one of the world wars, the soldiers coming home, black soldiers coming home, and the oppressor getting jealous. He upset. He see these black men with their chest out, their head up, walking proud. They just served their fictitious country. And they coming back with all these honors and these different stripes on the uniform and all that. But the oppressor didn't really want to hear that. He wanted to go in the killing season, So all through that summer, after the troops were coming home from that war, black men were getting killed in the streets. All the time, that whole summer, black men getting killed in the street just because they were proud to serve America. They were proud to put on a uniform and go and fight a war that didn't really have nothing to do with them. You got that first scripture there? Go ahead. Not first scripture, that first story. I apologize for that. First story. Go ahead and pull that, and let's see what we got here. Because what we gonna learn tonight is the oppressor is truly a devil. He's truly a devil. The first article they say it's a Smithsonian article, right? First article, it says the massacre of black sharecroppers that led the Supreme Court to curb the racial disparities of the justice system. Now, before we get into it and read a portion of this article, I need y'all to understand it's going to make you mad. You're supposed to be mad about this. If you're not mad about this, I'm going to look at you as my enemy. Because anytime your brother get killed just for trying to eat and survive, take care of his family, and you don't feel a certain type of way, I'm thinking about you in a different kind of way. Because if you love your brother, you don't want nothing to happen to him, whether you know him or not. You know what I mean? So these stories that are being brought out, these articles that's being brought out, are meant to upset you. It's meant to make you feel a certain kind of way. It's meant to make you say, that ain't right. I want to do something, but don't go do nothing because we ain't telling you to do nothing. We're going to let the Most High fight our battles, because if we keep the law, statutes, commandments, the chariots will come and they will wipe out our enemies. So let's read that first article if we can. We're going to start with the first paragraph, the sharecroppers who gathered at a small church. Start right there.
The sharecroppers who gathered at a small church in Elaine, Arkansas, in the late hours of September 30th, 1919, knew the risk they were taking. Upset about unfair low wages, they enlisted the help of a prominent white attorney from Little Rock, Ulysses Granton,
Keep going.
to come to Elaine to press for a fair share in the profits of their labor.
All right, stop right there. Now, in September of 1919, September 30th of 1919, this is how this all started. It started before that when you're going to find out about this union that was formed that they're talking about. But anytime black men try to come together, it's a problem for the oppressors. Because they know if we come together in righteousness, what's going to happen? Somebody help me out. What's going to happen if we come together in righteousness? Anybody? Go ahead, True Azar, y'all.
We come together, and the whole empire collapsed. The whole domino, the disease temple of the dominoes will fall.
Right. The whole thing will fall if we come together in righteousness. And these brothers, they came together. These brothers, these sisters in Elaine, Arkansas, they came together because they were upset about unfair low wages. They weren't getting their share of the pie. So, that's anybody, any man, gonna come to his brothers and say, hey man, how much you making it, doing this right here, this and that? You're gonna exchange your information, your facts, and say, hold up, something ain't right here. I'm looking at the big man over here making all the money, but we getting crumbs doing all the work. We got to do something about that, and that's what happened. Keep reading that, sir.
Each season, landowners came around demanding obscene percentages of the profits without ever presenting the sharecroppers detailed accounting and trapping them with supposed debts.
Now listen at that part. Read that part again.
Each season, landowners came around demanding obscene percentages.
Stop right there. It say demanding obscene percentages. Now think about it this way. The Most High asked for 10% of your increase. 10%. And the rest of it's yours. This right here just said that this man is obscene. He is just really overdoing it with what he's trying to do. He want all the money. If you want all the money, just say that. Just say you want all of it. Then I have a choice. But if you're going to slick me out and say, I'm going to give you this, that, and the third, and then slick me out in the end of when it's time to get paid, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Read that part again.
Each season, landowners came around demanding obscene percentages of the profits without ever presenting the sharecroppers detailed accounting and trapping them with supposed debts.
Have y'all heard of a credit card company?
Right.
And you put you charge some on the credit card, and then they'll charge some interest on the money that you borrowed from them, right? And the longer you take to pay it off, the more interest that you got to pay them, right? All right. Let's keep reading, because that principle that we just explained with credit cards is the same principle that sharecroppers used back in the day. Let's go.
There was very little recourse for African American tenant farmers against this exploitation. Instead, there was an unwritten law that no African American could leave until his or her debt was paid off.
Now, hold on for a second. We just read in the previous paragraph, it said, without ever presenting the sharecroppers detailed accounting and trapping them with supposed debts. Young man Charles just read in the very next sentence of the second paragraph, he says there was very little recourse for African American tenant farmers against this exploitation. Instead, there was an unwritten law that African Americans could leave until no African American could leave until his or her debt was paid off. Now, damn. I thought this is 1919. If I quit a job, and I should be able to quit the job regardless of if I didn't do tomorrow's work. If I'm going to quit, I'm going to quit. And you stuck with tomorrow's work. You got to do that, sir, not me. But here it's saying they couldn't even leave.
Right.
Now doesn't that sound like slavery?
Yeah, right.
Did slavery ever end? According to what we just read, did slavery ever end? Keep reading, young man Charles. Go down to, matter of fact, before you go any further, we're going to skip down to Organizers Hope. Organizers Hope Bratton's presence. It's the next sentence down.
Sir. Organizers hope Brenton's presence would bring more pressure to the bear through the courts. Aware of the dangers, the atmosphere was tense after racially motivated violence in the area. Some of the farmers were armed with rifles.
Now hold on for a second. It say, aware of the dangers, the atmosphere was tense after racially motivated violence in the area. So our brothers and sisters already seen what was going coming down the back. They seen, the oppressor, this town down, I'm finna kill these folks. This town over, I'm finna kill these folks. It could be your town next. And they were preparing themselves. They say some of the farmers were armed with what? What they were armed with?
Rifles.
Armed with rifles. Rifles is that's war material. So somebody either preparing to go to war or to protect themselves from somebody trying to harm them. Let's read on. Next paragraph.
At around 11 p.m. that night, a group of local white men, some of whom may have been affiliated with the local law enforcement, fired shots into the church.
Hold on for a minute. It said these folks fired shots into the church. Does that sound familiar? Didn't somebody just shoot somebody in the church a couple of years ago? That was just, I saw that on the news myself. Where Dylan Roof went into the church. He didn't shoot inside. He wasn't standing outside the church. He went in the church and shot. He tried to kill everybody. He didn't kill everybody. You got to have somebody to tell the story. But at the same time, he basically killed everybody. It's nothing. There is nothing new under the sun. Give me that scripture, Trooper Azar, y'all. Because when you hear stuff like this, somebody just help me out. When you hear stuff like this, don't it make you feel a certain kind of way? It's like, I just heard this story on the news a couple of years ago, and you telling me this happened back then too? They were shooting in the church then? Yes. They were shooting in the church then. And they shot in the church because they have no love for you, black man, Hispanic man, or Native American Indian man. They have no respect for you. They have no love for you. You are their natural born enemy.
SHALAM, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And the crazy thing about it is, it's the local law enforcement. The same people that's supposed to be protecting is shooting in the church.
Yeah. Look, okay. They say the boys in blue. Bag the boys in blue. That's the slogan that a lot of, so-called oppressors have. Back the boys in blue. You know what the slogan used to be? Night Riders. For real. Night Riders. It was the Klan riding horses at night. And they were terrorizing people. So the slogan is, the words may have changed, but the police are modern day night riders. They patrol your neighborhood, waiting to catch you slipping. Because remember now, the police is selling most of the drugs in America. So they know who got the drugs. So the moment you stop, say, I'm getting out the game, I ain't doing it no more, woo-woo, they coming to get you. Or I'm breaking off from him. I know the plug. I'm going to the plug. Woo-woo, coming to get you. Or I'm just going to, stop altogether. I ain't dealing with it. I'm starting my life over. And pow, they're going to shoot you. They're going to kill you. Why? Because you are more valuable to them doing what they want you to do than you doing for yourself. Right. If you're selling the oppressors drugs, you're not teaching your children the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right. If you prostitute your body, you're not teaching your daughter how to be a daughter of Zion. You're spending more time with what the oppressor wants you to do instead of what the Most High wants you to do. That go back to Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High. All that keep it shall come to life. We are in a dead state. We the walking dead. That TV show, they talking about you. They shooting at you. When they say brains, they ain't talking about brains. You know what they talking about? I see this black man, chain. I'm going to kill him because he's shining harder than me. You see what I'm saying? Shalom. Y'all about to thought. And the Most High sees all this. The Most High see these folk, trying to, set up shop in our neighborhoods. How they set up the shop. They call it a trap. But the biggest trap is the politicians, the ones that make the laws, the lawmakers. Washington, D.C. is the biggest trap because once you get caught up in their system, you trapped. You are trapped, literally. Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, you done something wrong, illegal, or they put you on child support or whatever the law wants you to, you know, pay them some money. They're going to find out a way to get you to give them some money or take your life. You know what I'm saying? They'd rather take your money, put you in jail, and make you work for them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that we cherish, we have a lot of love for. You know, some of the tennis shoes you wear are made by prisoners. The license plate tags that you put on the back of your car, prisoners. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the little bare necessity things that you wouldn't even think about are made by prisoners. Grills, you know, every black man like to cook out on the grill. Most grills are made in prison. So if they getting the free labor out you, they getting the money out you, and they fulfilling their wish of wanting to kill you at the same time, why would they change their system? They don't have to, because they don't have no love for you. Keep reading.
Come on, sir.
Salakia.
Hold on for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I brought it up. We Sean checking in.
Yeah, about saying y'all you got something that you want to bring out there, Warrior?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I want to piggyback on what you were saying. What you were saying is so heavy. No, they don't have to change their system because their system has been working flawlessly for over 400 years. And it's working so well that, you know, that so many people want to indulge in it and don't want to come up out of their system. Salakia.
They don't. That's a heavy point that you bring out. What he said, it should be on the front page of every newspaper. They've been getting over for 400 years. The law that they have set up since in 1776 to now is perfect for them because they are winning. But, you know, on the flip side of that, somebody got to lose. And we've been losing since 1776. Matter of fact, before 17, since 70 A.D., we've been losing. Go ahead, True Wazar, y'all.
I got that verse you want.
Run it.
Comment about made. Ecclesiastes 1, verse 9. The thing that has been is now which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Ain't nothing new under the sun. Everything that has been, it will be. You know what I'm saying? You can't get around it. There's no way of getting around the sun coming up and going down every day. So that's proof well enough right there. That's been going on since the beginning of the time. Sun come up, sun go down. That's been going on. That's the proof of it. Now, when you look into to our lives and apply that scripture, what we just read is still going on. Remember now, in this article, they shot up a church from the outside. Now, they ain't doing it from the outside. They just falling off in the church. They don't even care. They have enough pride in their heart to say, I'm going in the church and shoot these Negroes. That ain't what I want to say, but you know what I want to say. You know, I want to go in the church and hit these Spanish folks. I want to hit the Native American man with these 12 gauge rounds, or this 22 rifle, or this 380. You know what I'm saying? It's all that. And when we look at the Most High and what He wants us to do, only thing we can do is keep the law, statutes, commandments, because that's gonna be our protection. That's our protection. All right. Go back to the article.
Come, sir. Some of whom may have been affiliated with the local law enforcement fired shots into the church.
Stop right there for a minute. It's some of whom may have been affiliated with local law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? When you see most police cars, what it say? To serve and protect. All right. Who you protecting? Now, we already know the answer in the I.S.U.P.K. We know they're protecting the oppressor. And they're serving the laws to those who they consider to be the lawbreakers. Who do they call lawbreakers here in America? I don't know. I ain't smart enough to know. Can somebody please tell me, who does the oppressor call the lawbreaker? And probably ain't. I'll give you a hint. He looked like me. I'm just saying, you know, it was a rhetorical question. I know you know the answer. You know, the reason I say that is because you can find a bunch of stories like this. What I'm going to tell you, black man pulled over by the car. Sir, you fit the description. They run his information. He's not even the person that he looked for. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ottawa.
Like said, they're thinking we are lawbreakers, but when they do the same thing they would do, they think like, they liberal, they free. They free from the government and all that.
Right. Right. That's a heavy point. That's a heavy point, because when it ain't that they feel like it, they are.
Right.
Think about it. When we get on into the meat of this article, you're gonna find out some things that you know that you're gonna like. This still going on today. You know what I'm saying? The way they punish, you know, those that do wrong to us, it's the same punishment, which is what? Nothing. You know, we're gonna get into it because America has this. They have this fairy tale dream about themselves. You know, the American citizen that. They are the superhero of the world, you know what I'm saying? But when you go outside of America, you know, people gonna tell you, man, I can't stand your country. I hate your leadership. I hate your government. Did that and the third. Why? Because America is bombing the shit out of their government, bombing the shit out of their people, taking their stuff. You know, the natural resources of Africa. Where is it? Over here.
Right.
I'm just saying the rice that's in China. Where is it? Over here. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you can find all across the world, it's right here. All the way down to the dope game. They went to Afghanistan. Did what they told you, know. Did what they told you. When I was in the world, I used to be in the Air Force. Airplanes are made out of aluminum. The Twin Towers are made out of steel. I've never seen aluminum damage steel the way they want to blame those airplanes for that thing. And then not only that, they said that the Afghani people were sophisticated enough to pull this off. Right. Now, if anybody know anything about the people of Afghanistan, they are tribal. They're tribal people. They're not what you see here in America. No. They are tribal farmers. They like goat herders, sheep herders, stuff like that in the mountains. So how in the world, if these goat herders and sheep shearers, you know what I'm saying, how can they do all that without the technology? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about these things. A lot of times you just got to think about it. Just sit back and think about it. What is it? What is it that's going on in this world that we can't see? It's the principalities of this world making these moves. Because in Afghanistan, what people fail to realize are the poppy plants. Everything that you need for your cocaine, your heroin, and everything is in Afghanistan. The Iran-Contra affair, what was that about? Going into Nicaragua to get more dope. You know what I'm saying? So every war that's been fought all the way to, you can go to Vietnam, same thing. It was about the dope. But the Viet Cong went hearing it. They want a whole nother level of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much beat the oppressor at his own game. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though the oppressor is ruling over the whole world with an iron fist, the Vietnamese didn't let it happen. They didn't let him come in there and say, we're going to do this, that, and the third. Nah, he didn't do that. He turned their soldiers into dope heads. That's what the Viet Cong did. The Vietnamese, man, most folks that fought in that war, when they came back, they were either on crack or heroin. Can't make this up. It's in the records. You know what I'm saying? So when you read it right here, and you know how America moves, it says the law enforcement fired shots. Some affiliated with law enforcement, you supposed to protect the people of America. But we know when they say they're protecting the people of America, it ain't talking about us. Because when they wrote the law, we were 3/5 of a human being. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading in this article.
Come. The shots were returned. And in the chaos, one white man was killed.
Wait a minute. How many oppressors were killed?
One white man was killed.
Go ahead.
Word spread rapidly about the death. Rumors arose that the sharecroppers who had formerly joined a union known as a Progressive Farmers and Household Union of America were leading an organized insurrection against the white residents of Phillips County.
Now hold on. That article just said that rumors arose that the sharecroppers who had formerly joined a union known as the Progressive Farmers and Household Union of America were leading an organized insurrection against the white residents of Phillips County. Do that even sound right? When have you heard of a black anything trying to take over America, any portion of America? When have you heard that? Never. I ain't never heard it, and I've been here a long time. I ain't never heard that. I heard of groups coming out saying they want to come up against tyranny against their people, but not saying we finna come together and take over your town or your county or your state. Nigga, black folks ain't doing that. Hispanic folks ain't doing that. Native American folks ain't doing it. We trying to assimilate, if anything. We trying to come together with them instead of separating from them. And we really should try to take it. But because we're not thinking in that way of brotherhood and self-sustaining each other, we can't get to that point. But knowing that, we know our brothers and sisters were not trying to go up against this oppressor and take over. He just wanted an honest wage. That's why they came together. They wanted, if I'm working in your field, I'm picking all the cotton. You ain't got to do nothing but just have the supplies so I can come and buy supplies from you. I'm picking and growing your cotton. Just pay me what you owe me, and let me do with it. Don't come up with no hidden charge. Well, I got to charge you for this charge because you didn't pay me on this time, last time, so you owe me more on that. Man, come on with it. Go ahead, Trooper Azar, y'all. Go ahead.
Real heavy. I was told, I heard the other day that cotton was a bigger, industry than gold and oil. Probably the biggest industry in all. And they still want to give you. They want to give you a penny. You know what I mean? It's the devil. The Bible speaks of.
What you said is right. You know what I'm saying? Think about it this way. What's the biggest commodity on earth today? Oil, right?
Right.
Everybody need oil for their car. You got to turn it. You got to refine the oil into fuel or diesel fuel, whatever it is that oil is important. Now imagine not having to pay for the oil. You got the machinery and everything. You ain't got to pay nobody you ain't got to pay the man to pull the oil out. You ain't got to pay the man to refine the oil. You don't have to pay the man to, distribute the oil here and there and everywhere. Imagine you ain't have to pay nobody. That's what the cotton trade was. That's why the cotton trade was the greatest of all trades, because the men that was selling the cotton, they ain't had nothing in it. They ain't had no blood, sweat, and tears in it. Only thing they had was a whip. Being our ancestor back, talking about, better have this cotton. Run me that cotton. You know what I'm saying? In certain parts of the country, or in the South, I ain't gonna say in the South, certain parts of the country, because you had cotton fields from, this is what they won't tell you. You had cotton fields from Maine all the way to Texas. Cotton fields. Cotton fields. So when they try to tell you that slavery just existed in the South, bullshit. Salakia. That's wrong. Why? Because when you look at the history of Wall Street, when you look at the history of the different towns, Boston and Baltimore and all those different towns up north, built off slavery. It's built off the influence that our people had in that cotton field. You know what I'm saying? In that tobacco field in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's all free labor. So if you ain't got to pay nobody, you getting all the profit. You know what I'm saying? That's bigger than selling a CD. They're way better than going double platinum. You ain't got nothing in it. Only thing you got in it is the is maybe your horses taking it to the mill to be refined into what it's supposed to be. That's all you got in it. You ain't got no hand picking in it. You ain't got no putting the seed in it in the ground. You ain't got no I need to break the ground up. None of that. You ain't got none of that in it. You ain't even put no monies in it. But you getting all the monies. Is that right? Con. It is right. Because it's their system. It's not in our system, we know that ain't right. But in their system, it is right. So you got to think about from their point of view, from the oppressor's point of view. We know you can't do nobody like that. That's wrong. but they did it. So the Most High, go in Revelation on Triple Isaiah, y'all. He that lead in the captivity. Let me get that. Everything that goes on is based on how America got rich off of not doing any work. The American, the real American, which is your oppressor, is getting rich off of not doing any work. But we're the slave. We're the lazy one. Ever since we came out of slavery, we've been lazy. Now, last time I checked, after slavery, you got cars invented, black man. The refrigerator that you put your food in, black man. The air conditioner that you use, black man. Everything that you're using, for the most part, a black man created it, all the way down to your Google machine, your telephone in your hand. A black man, he came up with that concept. He made the first, even though it was huge, it was a cell phone. It was his invention. He did it. But, according to America, and what American society portrays and how they carry on, they a robber bandit. A robber and a bandit. They sit there and they take some more. And when they take it from the people that actually came up with it. And when you look, okay, who's the best car mechanic? A black man. Remember now, the black man invented the car. From bumper to bumper, everything in between, black man did that. That's a black man's invention. So if a black man invented, another black man gonna what? He's gonna see about it, cause he know I know that man. I know I was there when he built it, so I know I need to change the oil every so often. When the oil get that color, I need to change it. You know what I'm saying? I need to put this type of tire on it. I need to do this, that, all that. They already know that. Why? Because it came from one of them. But the oppressor, they don't have. I was watching the YouTube video a couple of weeks ago. Oppressor said, we don't have a culture. Everybody on earth has a culture, but we don't have one. That's heavy. You admitting that you ain't nothing. But the whole world see you as something. You see what I'm saying? They know they're nothing. They know they are absolutely worthless. They know this. But because we and the rest of the world say they are something, then it is what it is. Because remember now, the value is placed by the people who give the value. We give value to stuff. This pen doesn't give value to itself. I got to give back. This is my favorite pen, so I just gave it value. So if it come up missing, I'm gonna be upset. But according to the slave master, he don't have nothing that's valuable to him. Why? Because he stole everything. So if something gets missing or get misplaced or broken, he don't care. Why? Because he's gonna go steal somebody else's stuff. Why would he care? Read that scripture.
Revelation 13 and 10.
Uh-huh.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He say what now? He that what?
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
I need to take a drink of that Coca-Cola to that, because that sounds so good. My ancestors were led into captivity. Your ancestors were led into captivity. Don't you want the people that led you into captivity to pay for what they did? That's that's worth a drink. You know what I'm saying? What's the next part?
He that killeth with the sword.
Wait a minute, he did what now?
He that killeth with the sword.
Okay, so we know that we was in captivity by the oppressor. And when we look back at history, and we just reading it right now, we already read in one portion of this article where our oppressor shot up the church. Go ahead.
Must be killed with the sword.
Should be.
Must be killed with the sword.
Might be.
Must be killed with the sword.
We gonna think about it.
Must be killed with the sword.
Man, the Most High gonna lay waste to this bastard.
Right.
Think about it that way. The Most High don't care about nothing but his people, and how his people have been tormented and tortured under the hand of this oppressor for how many years here in America? Over 400 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They say 1619 project. Forget the 1619 project. Go back to 70 AD.
That's right.
We've been tormented by Rome since 70 AD. Right. People like to say, man, 1619. You do realize, sir and ma'am, that life did not start in 1619. What happened before 1619? I know what happened before 1619. A black man was ruling over Europe. I know that.
Right.
I know in the bowels of Africa that the Israelites set up kingdoms and scholarly cities. I know that. I know that, you know, the Most High in his word in this Bible said because he loved Israel, he was going to kill Egypt,
Right.
the firstborn of Egypt. I know that. That's in the scriptures. So if we know these things, why not just go ahead and do what the Most High say do? It'll be the perfect answer to everything. It'll get us out of this captivity, first off. It'll knock the head and roll the head of this peckerwood oppressor that we under.
Right.
And thirdly, it'll give us what we always long for, a home.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And when you get your home, you got riches then. Why? Because it ain't about the money. Wealth is your family, your nation. We're a poor nation. Why? Because we have no moral code.
Right.
So we poor. The moment we grab that moral code, we're wealthy again. Not by money, but by wisdom.
Right.
This is what gets you where you need to be. Having that wisdom, knowing that, man, I can't touch that fire over there. That fire hot. What's the fire? Joining the other nations. That'll burn you every time. Think about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Everybody know O.J. O.J. like them. He like them oppressor women. He like them cave women. He like them. You know what I'm saying? He like them. Everywhere I go, there's always something to remind me. Another place in time. He like them cave women. He like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he like. And him liking that, he might have got off from what he, you know, supposedly did. He might have got off from that. But ever since, they've been messing with him.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Every chance they get. So when you align yourself up with that oppressor, you taking the chance of what? Getting taken out. Keep reading on that article there, young man Charles.
Come. Governor Charles Barrow called for 500 soldiers from nearby Camp Pike. Called for 500 soldiers from nearby Camp Pike to, as Arkansas Democrat reported on October 2nd, round up the Heavenly Army.
Wait a minute. Stop for a second. So the governor, in response to what did happen in Phillips County, now think about it this way now. Ain't but one oppressor got killed. One. This man had called 500 soldiers down. 500. Where they do that at? I know where they do it at. They do it in the dirty South. Elaine, Arkansas is the South. Confederate South, that is. And what happens in the Confederate South? Triple Kashan, you still on the phone? Tell me about the Confederate South. I know you have, you have a little knowledge about the Confederate South because you from the Confederate South. What you know about the Confederate South?
Out of one, you had to let me know what portion: the finance, the religion, the captivity.
I need to know about the systematic torture, oppression, and killing of our people by the Confederate armies. What you know about that?
Oh, that how prevalent it was. That they like you was speaking about earlier. They are the slave patrol. They were the brigadiers. They were the pastors of all the first churches of this country. All the oldest churches and everything of this country. All of them were militant, and that was one of their most powerful weapons. Was religion. It was more powerful than any nuclear bomb that was ever created. Christianity killed more people than Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and all the aftermath afterwards. That's just like the Bible say, those who take Confederate against thee, who's thee is Israel. It runs just that deep.
Awesome, the Posh.
And
Give me Psalm 83. Keep going. I hear you, Triple Sean. We hear you. Keep going.
Oh yeah, and just the Confederates. It's just like that number one thing was the attack the strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The kill the prominent men, the farmers,
the leaders, you know, anybody that would stand up or speak against, it was their job to kill them. Enslave many of the women as possible, you know. It was just deep, you know.
Con. And what you just said and what you just brought out is so heavy because when we were reading this in this article, the governor calling out 500 soldiers, you know what I'm saying? That's an act of war. You're calling down soldiers on farmers. Come on, man. Really? You calling down a highly trained military unit to come and fight farmers who work in the field all day. All they do is pick cotton. Ain't really thinking about hurting nobody, not even a fly.
Right.
But you want to send 500 soldiers down. Go ahead, Austin the Pie. Give me that scripture about they confederate against thee.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee that have lifted up thy head. Verse 3. That have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4. That have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
They are what?
They are confederate against thee.
Stop right there. Triple Gashawn, where we at? We in the Confederate South? Is that a fair estimation?
Georgia is the #1 Confederate state in America.
I agree with you. When you look at everything, thank you, Austin the Price. When you look at everything that's happening in America and you look at Georgia, a lot of things that happen in Georgia first, it spreads like wildfire everywhere else. You know, you can just look at it. Just look at the different things that came out of Georgia. What happened? Let's go back to the 80s first. Let's go back to the 80s. In the 80s, what happened in Georgia? Anybody know? Anybody know what happened in the 80s in Georgia? I tell you now if you don't know. It happened all over the country. Correct? Crack cocaine. It happened all over the country. But here in Georgia, oh my gosh. It was worse here than anywhere, I think. Because I'm from here and I seen what it did. I said, Glenwood? You talking about a good time? Glenwood? All of Atlanta? Prior to the crack epidemic. Oh man, this is greatest place we could be. Greatest place we could be. But once that thing hit, that crack thing hit, the drug scene hit strong, it was a wrap. Go ahead, Officer DePash.
I was saying Glenwood, I heard back in Buckhead, back in the 80s and 70s, when that crack hit, it used to be like Buckhead back then.
Mm-hmm.
You see our Moore Drive bills full of old rundown buildings and all that. That would be full of business.
Right.
Up and down Moore Drive. Now
right.
You see it is now. You see home wall clubs and you see prostitution, trap houses and all
everything. That. Calm. What he just said is so heavy, you know what I'm saying? Because let me see. What we consider, Black Hollywood, we call Atlanta Black Hollywood. I don't know why. I do, but I don't. So I understand the concept. I understand that, but I wouldn't want to be compared to Hollywood. Hollywood is a homosexual area. And so when you claim Black Hollywood, Atlanta Black Hollywood, you just told me Atlanta is the most homosexual place on earth. Back in the 70s and the 80s, it wasn't like that. Right. Just like he said. Before that crack hit, you couldn't go anywhere in Atlanta and not see a black business that was booming. It was everywhere. Right. It was everywhere. Everywhere. What we call Metro Atlanta today, it was black. That's why all black people come here. Because this was a mecca. This really truly was a mecca of starting your business and thriving in your business. Why? Because it was all Negroes down here. Right. All Negroes. And all the Negroes that's in the city, they from down in the country. And they migrated to the city and made it what it is now. You know what I'm saying? But before, you know, it became what it is now. Before that, you know, everything was cool. Everything was copacetic. You could go outside and not worry about closing your door, locking your door. You ain't had to worry about none of that. But now, after that crack done hit, that heroin and all that stuff done hit, that pause. Can't do that no more. Why? Because they are confederate against you. Them same police that riding up and down the road saying that, you know, we here to serve and protect. Yep, I understand. You here to serve the dope and you here to protect your profits. Because that's the only thing I can see you doing. Go ahead. I hear you. Go ahead.
I had a definition for Confederate if you like it.
Go ahead.
Confederate, a person one works with, especially in something secret or illegal, an accomplice.
Illegal. I heard the word illegal. So think about all the stuff that our oppressor have done to blacks in the South. Look, we'll make it real easy. We're talking about Elaine, Arkansas right now. We're gonna keep going on in this article, but from the most western portion of Texas all the way to North Carolina, Virginia, can somebody name me a good oppressor? I will wait. Okay, you can't name a good oppressor. All right, let me ask another question. From the very most western part of Texas all the way to Virginia, can somebody tell me what good thing oppressors have done for blacks, Hispanic, and Native American? I'll wait. I hear nothing. Go ahead, Trooper. I'm sorry, y'all.
Sir, made. The only good thing they do is, enter that casket.
Trooper, sorry, y'all say when they hit the mortician's house, that's the best thing they could do. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him a hand for that. Let's give him a hand for that right there. Let's give him a hand for that right there. We know when they hit the mortician's house, we know what the Most High is doing His job.
Right.
But He's also, when you look at that oppressor, you know the things that he's done to us. In your mind, sometimes you want to go out and do the same thing. You want to go and say, "Oh, I want to do what he did." You know, I want to try to get my money the same way. No. Why? You see the destruction that it has caused. You see the turmoil and all the stuff that it has caused. Why would you want to be like the oppressor? Why? It don't make sense. I understand why you want to do it, because he's shining right now. He on top of the world. You know what it is. You got the rappers. You got Yo got it. Want to be John got it. Master P said he was lad Don. You know, so that means he want to be the Teflon Don. Let me see who else out there. All these Capone. You know, all these rappers want to be white boys. You know what I'm saying? Why you want to be an oppressor? Why you wouldn't want to be King David? You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Why you wouldn't want to be Mashah or Moses? You know what I'm saying? Why you wouldn't want to be Yahanna? You know what I'm talking about? Really? You'd rather be John Gotti, Al Capone. You know what I'm saying? You'd rather be a fictitious character. That's right, Scarface. He ain't even real. You'd rather be all those things, but you wouldn't want to be Samson. My boy, come on now. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. You wouldn't want to be Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking, because that's what our people do. They choose the oppressor than rather choose themselves. Keep reading that article, because this article is so heavy. It make you go into so many different points, because it's 500 versus a handful. And I've been saying that my whole life. The oppressor ganging up. It's the bully versus everybody else. Eventually the bully loses. Y'all know that, right? The bully eventually loses sometimes. He loses at the end. Go ahead and read on.
Con. The roll call 500 soldiers from nearby Camp 2, as the Arkansas Democrat reported on October 2nd, round up the heavily armed Negroes. Mm-hmm. The troops were under order to shoot and kill any Negro.
Wait a minute. To the what? The troops were what?
Ordered to shoot to kill any Negro who refused to surrender immediately.
And stop right there, man. He said the governor sent down the order and said, kill him. If they don't want to surrender, kill them. Now, that could be anything. Surrender, what do surrender mean? Some people wave a white flag. Some people throw their hands up and say, I give up. I give, you know. But to these oppressors, what is surrender? These people, think about it now. Our brothers and sisters, we know, because we see it today. Hands up, don't shoot. So if we saying that now, ain't nothing new under the sun. Imagine what they were saying in 1919. At the church, they were already armed at the church anyway. So they done protected themselves. Now they see 500 coming. 500 troops coming, geared up. Guns and all. They see it. Now what you think gonna happen? Oh, we can't fight that. Keep reading.
Con. They went well beyond that.
Say that again.
They went well beyond that.
Keep reading.
Banding together with the local
Vigilantes.
and killing at least 200 African Americans. Estimates run much higher, but there were never a full accounting.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I got to stop right there. Just for a second. It says, they went well beyond, banded together with the vigilantes, and killed at least 200 African Americans. Now, you got to be some kind of evil to want to go and kill somebody. But you want to kill people that just want a fair wage? That is really, really some kind of evil. You know what I mean? These folks just want to eat. You already robbing them. You charge them this interest on stuff. You charging them extra for supplies. All they want to do is eat. All they want to do is come together amongst each other so they can approach this oppressor and say, hey man, be fair with the wages. Yeah, we own your land. Okay. But we doing a lot of the work here. Just be fair. That's how they were saying. Just be fair to us. But how can you make crooked what the Most High made straight? You know what I'm saying? That's scripture. See, if they had a true leader like General Yahanna back then, you know, in 1919 in Elaine, they wouldn't have got killed.
Right.
Because they would have known, look, we come together for ourselves, and we'll make whatever little we have a lot when we come together. Keep reading that paragraph. Where it said, and the killing was indiscriminate.
And the killing was indiscriminate. Men, women, and children, unfortunate enough to be in the vicinity, were slaughtered.
Stop right there. It said men, women, and children were slaughtered. I don't know how y'all feel. The first time I read this article, I was preparing for class. I was reading the article. I was like, man, I'm glad I don't own no pistol. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad because I ain't got there yet. I'm still a work in progress. But when I read this right here, I'm like, Lord, you gonna kill the women and the children? The women and the children? That what we doing? That how we doing that now? That's how we doing that? We killing women and children? Women and children? They don't even do that in war.
Right.
When you go overseas to fight, you ain't killing the babies. You're not killing the women unless they present a threat to you. But you're not out looking for that woman to kill. I'm looking for that little child to kill. I want to kill the puppy too. Man, you got to be specially evil to want to kill women and children. There's something wrong with you. Continue on reading.
Amidst the violence, 5 whites died.
How many?
5 whites died.
Hold your finger right there. I'm going to go back. It says the troops were under order to shoot to kill any Negro who refused to surrender immediately. They went well beyond that, banding together with local vigilantes and killing at least 200 African Americans. And you said how many oppressors died?
5 whites died.
Hold on, let me go back. Around 11 p.m. that night, a group of local white men, some of whom may have been affiliated with local law enforcement, fired shots in the church. The shots were returned, and in the chaos, one oppressor was killed. So 5 plus 1 is what? That 5 plus 1, somebody tell me. What 5 plus 1? It's 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. Shasha in the Hebrew. So let me ask y'all a question. If 5 plus 1 got killed, how does that equal 200? That's more than an eye for an eye. That's more than, that's way more than an eye for an eye. How do you equate more than 200? It's, and the article said that's an estimate. The 200 is an estimate. They're not even full. They didn't even do a full accountability on how many Negroes got killed that day. But they're saying it's well over 200. How does 6 equal 200? In what world? You must be dropping the zeros. 6 and 2. I can see that, but 6 and 200? You kill 200 people for 6? Come on, man. That's evil. That's nothing that the Most High would sanction. That's our oppressor just going above and beyond his normal evilness. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be evil, but that right there, somebody go in their Google machine, put in evil, and then type synonym next to it. I need evil synonyms, words that are similar to evil. Because good night, it's got to be another word that's way worse that can explain how I feel right now than just evil. Because I'm stuck on that. 1 plus 5 equals 6. But they're gonna turn around, send 500 to kill 200, and I bet, I can guarantee it, the majority of those people that were killed were women and children. Go ahead.
It's a lot. It's real quick, wrongful, immoral, sinful, and ungodly.
Doggone it, there it is. That's the word I need. Ungodly. Now, if you know anything about the Confederate South, they'll tell you, man, we live in the Bible Belt. Man, ain't nothing godly about you, oppressor. Nothing. If you can send 500 people, 500 men down to kill over 200 people, that's just we talking about farmers. We ain't talking about no thug in the street. We not talking about gangbangers, who you call gangbangers and thugs. We're not talking about them folk that stay in the project. We ain't talking about them. We talking about farmers. We talking about farmers. You are ungodly creature, oppressor. You are ungodly. Go right ahead, sir.
So these farmers are fighting the government. You fighting law enforcement. That's part of the government.
Go ahead.
You fighting the governor.
Go ahead.
And you fighting the soldier.
And look, think about it anyway. We just read it in Psalm 83 and 5. He said they are confederate against thee. They come up against you. Why? Because they know that you are the Most High's prized possession. Somebody get me Deuteronomy 7:6. That's why they do it. They do it. But look, these oppressors been reading the Bible just like we read the Bible. They know what's going on. They know crackhead is wool. They know it. They know his head is wool. They know it's wool. They know his skin is black. They know it. They know he got a loud voice. You know what I'm saying? They know it. They know these things. But why do they not tell you? Because they want to keep you under their thumb. They want to put their knee on your neck. They want to kill you because you want to eat. Go ahead, Austin Apache.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
For thou art what?
And holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Uh-huh.
The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Uh-huh.
Above all people.
So water, Otto. The water right there for a second. I just need you. I say thank you for reading that to me because of this right here. The Most High chose Israel. He said Israel is a special people unto himself. Unto him. Now, if we in the Bible Belt, and the oppressor say he got the Bible. See, the oppressor don't subscribe to the Apocrypha, even though they know it's out there. But they subscribe to this Holy Bible. And they know what's in it. They know what it says. They know who is and who ain't in this Bible. They know what's going on. The Bible just said that Israel is a special people unto himself. Go ahead and finish that out there, Austin the Pie.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Upon the face of the earth. These folks know this. They know how important. They know how important you are to the Most High. They know it. But do they care? To the now. To the now. They don't care. Why they don't care? Because they ancestor, what the name is? Edom, Esau, government, Mount Seir. You know, what they do? For a morsel of food, sold their birthright. Now his children mad. You mad at me because your daddy sold the birthright. Man, get out my face. Get out my face. They're like me saying, I'm mad at you because you ain't shine my tires on my car right after I paid you. Man, you just asked me for something and you going to give me your birthright. Please leave my children alone. Leave them alone. But because they have a hatred towards us, we are their natural enemy, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, let your Christian pastor tell you, the oppressor, they good people. They good people, you know, all of them ain't bad. I wouldn't let now one of them in my house. I just read where they killed 200. I ain't even going to say men, women, and children. I'm going to say women and children. They killed 200 women and children, more than. Well, I don't want to be around you, man. I don't want to be around you, beast. I don't want to be around you, little puppy, little dog. I don't want to be around you, Fido. I don't be around you. You're what? Ungodly.
Right.
I don't have time to be around that. Not at all. Why? Because the Most High is always saying to us, hey, y'all are special to me. Hey, Shalom, Mohai and Cry, one. Hey, the Most High is he waiting on us. Hey, the Most High wants us to get it together. The Most High wants us to come together. Hey, black man, wake up. Sound the alarm. Hey, wake up. Stop getting killed. Nah, our leadership, our so-called leaders, they don't want to do that. Most High Christ. Our leaders, they don't want to do that. Our leaders, all they want to do is what? Fill their own pockets. Let's go on a little bit more with this article.
Mm-hmm. Well, for those deaths, someone would have to be held accountable.
Uh-huh.
Out of this tragedy known as Elaine Massacre and the subsequent prosecution would come a Supreme Court decision that would end years of court-sanctioned injustice against African Americans.
All right, stop right there for a second. Now, the remainder of this article, y'all can go and check this out on your own. The remainder of this article is talking about how the people that were charged with the crime, they fought it all the way to the Supreme Court. Remember now, 5 + 1 oppressors got killed. 6 oppressors got killed. So somebody had to pay. Somebody had to go to jail for that. But didn't nobody go to jail for them 200 brothers and sisters that got killed. Nobody went to jail for that. But in this instance right here, when it's talking about that somebody got to pay, and somebody had to go to jail, somebody had to do this, that, the third, and it said that the Supreme Court stepped in. It had to happen that way. Why? So that the world and America could see their transgressions against God's people. I'm gonna give you the paragraph to skip down to. It says during the massacre, Arkansasan Leroy Johnston. Get that.
Common concept. During the massacre, Arkansasan Leroy Johnson, who had spent 9 months recovering in a hospital from injuries he suffered in the trenches of France, was pulled from a train shortly after returning home and was shot to death alongside his 3 brothers.
Hey, stop right there for a second. Now, remember now, we just read how during right after the World War, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that were serving in the war were coming back home. All this is happening during the summer of 1919, during all these Red Summer massacres. This is the trigger. These are the end of World War I was the trigger of the Red Summer of 1919, when it came from New York all the way across the country, black men getting killed because they had on their uniform. Elaine, Arkansas plays an integral role in that, because Elaine, Arkansas wasn't even about the military. These brothers and sisters just wanted equal. They wanted to eat. They wanted fair wages. They wanted the opportunity to say, hey, I got this amount of cotton. Give me X amount of dollars, and what's left is yours towards the debt that I owe. That's any man would want that. But because our oppressor is such an ungodly bastard, he wants it all for himself. He can't get enough. He's a greedy dog. You know what I'm saying? He can't have enough. He never gets enough. Let's keep reading. We're going to skip down. We're going to skip down to the paragraph said the paper claimed every individual who joined was under understanding. The paper claimed every individual. That paragraph.
Come.
Go ahead.
The paper claimed every individual who joined was under the understanding that ultimately he would be called upon to kill white people.
Stop for a second. Now, remember now, the PFHUA, that Farmers and Household Union, you know what I'm saying, was established. It wasn't established to kill nobody. It was established for equal wages. Well, not even equal wages, but for better wages. It was there for better wages. That's what it was set up for. Because they were sharecropping on white oppressor land. And so instead of getting a fair cut of what was grown and what was sold, the owners of the farms, what have you, what did they do? They were overcharging, like we read earlier. The newspaper, you know what I'm saying, in Elaine is saying, it's called the Arkansas Democrat, for those of you that want to go back to it. The Arkansas Democrat, what it was saying is that the union was formed to kill white people, and that's not true at all. The union was formed for better wages for the farmers and their families, because they were doing a lot of work and getting little. Keep reading in that same very paragraph.
Come. A week later, they would congratulate themselves on the whole episode and their family ability to restore order, confidently claiming that not one slain African American was innocent.
Stop right there. It says that they could in their mind, in their own well-being, in their heart of hearts, so to speak, they could sleep at night saying that, you know, we did the right thing. According to what the law say, according to what we did to our enemy, the black man in Arkansas. We right for it. That's basically what they're saying. It said, let me read it for you. It say they congratulated themselves on the whole episode and their ability to restore order, confidently claiming that not one slain African American was innocent. They were boasting about it. They were so proud and full of pride about what they did that they didn't even care. It's like the 4th of July all over again. You know what I'm saying? They fulfill their deepest wish, that deep thing, that deepest desire, that thing that's really deep down on the inside of them. They feel that. How do they feel it? By doing what their ancestors did. And that was from 70 AD. I don't like to talk about 1619. I like to talk about 70 AD. When Rome kicked us out, they came and booted us up out the land because the Most High said they could. Because we didn't want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. But this right here, this is overboard. Give me a scripture if you don't mind. I'm gonna hold your spot for you. But give me Zechariah 11. You hold your spot. Someone online, give me Zechariah 11 and 5. Anybody online? Zechariah 11 and 5. Let me get that. Because what we need to realize is that, your oppressor, he don't care. He really don't care. I was watching a news story the other day. Young man in New Jersey has lost his life to the oppressor's police department, and the police officer played out and got 3 years. 3 years. Anybody got that scripture for me? Zechariah 11 and 5. Go ahead, young man, Charles.
Come. The book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
Say what now?
Whose possessors slay them.
Hold on, stop right there. Let's not go too fast. We're going to do this punctuation mark at a time. It says, whose possessors slay them. Now, we just read in this article about how 200 women and children, more than 200 women and children now, how they were massacred. They were killed by this oppressor. We just read that now. It says, whose possessors slay them. Keep going.
Come. And hold themselves not guilty.
Hold on for a minute now. It says in that same article, it says a week later, they would congratulate themselves, meaning they, round of applause, we did a good job. They would congratulate themselves on the whole episode and their ability to restore order, confidently claiming that no one slain African American was innocent. So they holding themselves not guilty. It's easily for them to say, hey, we did wrong. They didn't do that. They went and juiced up about that thing. They went and got electrified about it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say,
Shalom. Your house tomorrow, Alabama, by Shem Yahshua. Go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
It said, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord. Now look now. They will congratulate themselves. It say, and they that sell them, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Come on now. If this scripture ain't talking about you, Israel, I don't know who it's talking about. Black, Hispanic, and Native American, if it's not talking about you, I don't understand who it's talking about. Because everything that I see right now, I see it as being the oppressor trying to kill you at every point of every turn that he comes across. If he could kill you with a drop of water, he would do it. If he could kill you with sawdust, he would do it. Because he just wants to kill you. He's been killing you since the beginning of creation. Think about it. Cain killed Abel. So he was a murderer in the beginning. From the beginning is what the Bible says. And we know that the spirit of the spirit of Cain resides in Esau today. We know this. And reading that scripture right there, Zechariah 11:5, it say, and they that sell them, blessed be the Lord. They say, blessed be the Lord. They congratulated themselves that they killed all these Negroes. And not only that, they still getting money. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you read on in this article, it's going to tell you about, how the NAACP, they done put money together to try to, take this thing to court. Each level of court, you got the local court, you got the appellate court, you got the district courts, and then you got the Supreme Court. They went through all those processes, you know what I'm saying, and then it finally got to the Supreme Court. So drop down to, in that article, it says in February 1923. We want to go to that part of the article. And this is the last portion of this article that we're going to read, because we got some scriptures to bring out about this. In February 1923, go ahead.
Sir. In February 1923, by a 6-2 margin, the court agreed, citing that all white jury lack of opportunity to testify confessions under torture, denial of change of venue, and the pressure of the mob. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote for the majority that if the case is that the whole proceeding is a mass, that counsel, jury, and judge were swept to the fatal end by an irresistible wave of public passion. Then it was the duty of the Supreme Court to intervene as guarantor of the petitioner's constitutional rights where the state of Arkansas had failed.
Stop right there. What that means is, in lay terms, is that the Supreme Court had to go back and fix what Arkansas did wrong. It's like you got a child at home, and you tell the child, "I need you to take the trash out. Tie the trash up and take it out and put it in the garbage outside and take the garbage can down by the road." Instead of the child following your instructions, the child just says, "I'm going to take the trash outside, but I'm going to grab it from the bottom of the bag, not tied up, and drag the bag all the way to the trash can and drag the trash can to the side of the road. But I put the bag in there, not knowing that he done left all the trash on the ground." So basically, the one that gave the order got to do what? Go back and clean up that mess. So the Supreme Court had to go back and clean up the mess that Arkansas had put out there, And when you look at how Arkansas did these brothers and sisters in Elaine, by the bloodshed, of 200. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna say men, women, and children. That's pointless at this point, at this juncture, because only 6 people of the other side got killed. So 200 women and children plus were killed because of 6 oppressors getting, meeting or biting the bullet, so to speak. Now, it would have never happened if the governor hadn't sent 500 men down there. It would have never happened if the so-called good white folks of Elaine, Arkansas had just said, "We're gonna mind our business and let these Negroes get the money they deserve." Nah, it didn't go down that way. Because they are greedy bastards and they wanted everything. They couldn't catch their field. They had to, make it harder on you. So we're gonna drop this. We're gonna drop this article because the more and more we read it, I know y'all out there getting upset about, Elaine, Arkansas. Don't get mad about Elaine, Arkansas. If you want to do something about Elaine, Arkansas, this is what you can do. You can wash your hands of that old man and become a new creature inside the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
For those of you that's not in the I.S.U.P.K, today is your day. Today is your day. It's better than yesterday. Why? Because yesterday you weren't in the school. Today is your day. You got the opportunity to put on all black if you're a young man. You got an opportunity to put on all black, come in here and learn. Under the Most High in Christ through General Yahanna. You can learn. You can learn what the generals and the captains and the officers above you have to say according to this Bible. You can learn these things of what happened to your people. You can learn what to do to help your people. And it's easy. The very first thing you need to know is the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. If you fear God, you on the right track. Because fearing God gonna make you do the right thing. So we're gonna drop the article. We're gonna let it go because we got a few minutes, and I know y'all want to catch Commander General Yahanna on Black Watch News. Make sure you tune in to him tonight at 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be on here in a few minutes, a little while. So I'm gonna get out your way because I know y'all want to get your popcorn ready and all that. But we're gonna go to a couple of scriptures though, because the oppressor is a devil.
Right.
The oppressor been putting out hits on our people since 70 AD. I'm telling you, 1619 is not important. 70 AD is. That's when you got kicked out your land, Jerusalem, your land, which is the mother of us all, above it, which is free. Jerusalem is free, but we ain't, because we over here serving out this punishment because we didn't want to do what the Most High say. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and begin with verse 15. Because it's very important that we know what's going on. Matter of fact, Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Do verse 1 first. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. When you got it, young man, Charles, read.
Come, sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day,
Right.
the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now, when the Most High gave Moses that order right there, he was doing it on good faith. He was like, I know these folks. These my people. I told them. We read in Deuteronomy 7:6, they my special people above all nations. They special unto me. So he said, I know you're going to do what I said. I know you're going to do what I said. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Uh-huh.
If thou
Wait a minute, slow down. It said all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee. And what's that next word?
If.
Hold on. It's what?
If.
Say it again.
If
what?
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now, hold on before we go to verse 3. If we do what the Most High say, this is what's going to happen. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
Uh-huh.
And blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Hold on for a second. It said, blessed in the city and blessed in the field. Now, I know some of y'all Christians out there, it's a dude sang a Christian song. He said he blessed in the city, he blessed in the field, he blessed when he come and when he go. Y'all heard that song out there, those Christians. You know. If you go to church, you done heard that song before. Don't act like you ain't. You done heard that song before. I forget the man that sang it, but you know the song. He got it from this scripture right here. But why sing that song knowing that we ain't blessed? We ain't blessed in no city. When I walk out with my brothers on Saturdays, and we standing out at camp, and we blazing on, the oppressor, and we prophesying to the wind, I see accursed people. I see crackheads. I see prostitutes. I see whoremongers. I see drug addicts. I see wizards. I see, people that deal with familiar spirits and all that. I see every wicked abomination on the planet when I go to camp with my brothers. Right. Skip down to verse 15. Because right now, we're not blessed in no city. We're not blessed in no field. What verse 15 say?
Come. Verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
It say what now?
But it shall come to pass.
But it what?
It shall come to pass.
Keep going.
If thou
Wait a minute, slow down. It say if. Did that say if?
Come.
Read that part again.
But it shall come to pass.
Uh-huh.
If.
What?
If.
What?
If
what?
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
What he said gonna happen? Cause he ain't gonna hold on. He ain't gonna just say all that and then not tell you that something finna happen. What he say?
That all these curses.
That what?
That all these curses.
Do you what?
That all these curses.
And I'm not talking. The Most High is not talking about these 4-letter words that Christians get mad at. Oh, you can't say that. That's a bad word. That's a curse word. No. I'm finna read to you a curse word. Keep going.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Read verse 16.
Come. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now hold on for a second. We're reading an article tonight about Elaine, Arkansas. Elaine, Arkansas is a rural town in rural Arkansas. It is not a big city. It is not a metropolitan. It is a city or town. It's a town, a small town in Arkansas, in the dirty South. Small town.
Right.
The Most High just said, cursed shall thou be in the city and in the field. That's a curse to be killed like that in Elaine, Arkansas. That's a massacre. 200 men, women, and children. I'm sorry, Salakia. 200 women and children were killed in Elaine, Arkansas in the summer of 1919 after World War I. Not because that the men were there going and fighting and coming back from the war? No, because they wanted better wages for picking the oppressor's cotton on stolen land. Read that verse again. Verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
What?
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
When I walk out this door here at the school on Glenwood, I get in my car, I butt the left or the right. Either way, I can keep straight. It really don't matter. I see the same thing. I see zombies. I see the Walking Dead. I see crackheads. I see the pill heads. I see the powder heads. I see the prostitutes. I see the pimps. I see the Christian pastor pimping. I see his wife prostituting. I see all that. And y'all want to tell me that we're blessed in Atlanta, Georgia? Get somewhere. This Bible says we cursed in the city and we cursed in the field. Where I live is the field. Every other year somebody getting killed by a police officer. Or you'll find out somebody's body is found on the train track. Or you'll find somebody hanging in a tree. Come on now. That's not a blessing. So when you go to your church on Sunday morning, Christian, and you say, we so blessed, where? Where you blessed at? Right. Some of y'all can't even put food in the house. Talking about, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. What? You're not blessed and highly favored. When you eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, that's why we're in the same condition we're in now. You're not blessed when you following the laws and statutes and commandments of the white man or the oppressor. When you follow his stuff, you ain't blessed. But when you follow God's laws, you blessed. Right. But right now, because we choose as a people, we choose to do outside of what God wants us to do, we cursed. We curse. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 20. Hold on, young man Charles. Go ahead, Triple Gashawn.
What you saying right now is such a heavy point, you know, and I know you know from experience, because, you know, like when we were growing up, we were coming up in the church and stuff like that, Christian church, you know, we were always taught that, you know, if we just woke up the next morning, that's all we needed really was to be blessed, not to wake up and follow the law, God, law, statute, commandment. It was just a blessing on its own if we just woke up and just seen another day. But, you know, you just pretty much just cut that, you know, fake doctrine to death. You know, if you're not following God's law, statute, commandment, there's no way possible that you could be blessed. Salaki.
Con, what you just said so heavy, you know what I'm saying? I'm only doing what the men above me told me to do, and that's to bring it back wet. When you bring it back wet, you're going to hurt some folks' feelings. The Christians don't want to hear this. You think the Christians want to hear that they not blessed? You really think they want to hear that? They don't want to hear that, because every Sunday they go to church where they pastor, you so blessed and highly favored. Doggone it, let me prophesy to you. Let me tell you finna get a brand new car and a house and the job that you want. They're going to give you a raise on the, soon you hit the door. It start off at $15, but they're going to start you off at $25. Man, they soothsayers. They're telling you something that you want to hear, but not in one moment have they shown you where you are blessed. True, you do breathe every day. Yeah. A man in a coma breathes every day too. Is he blessed? Go ahead, young man Charles.
So like I said, I was going to say, they always tell you in the Christian church to claim it. Get it, just claim it.
That's right.
And you ain't doing nothing that the Most High tell you to do. Exactly. Go ahead, Austin the Posh.
Just like they say they're gonna drink that holy water, that tap water they got from the fountain.
Right.
They say there's some secret holy stuff. It's gonna be secret holy. If it was true, the FBI been ran up in the church and got to raid the whole church.
Exactly. And what you just said, Austin the Posh, is so heavy. They play on your emotions. They play on your mentality. Because they teach us the slave owner's doctrine according to the Bible, they play on that. They'll tell you the Most High love everybody, but we know clearly it says in Romans chapter 9 that he hates Esau. Clearly it says that. Clearly it also says that in the book of Ecclesiastes that, the Most High hates the sinner. That's Ecclesiastes, right? He hates the sinner. But they tell you he love everything. He love the sinner. He just hate the sin. Man, come on, man. The Most High is holding all of us to account of everything that we're doing. You got that Deuteronomy 28 and 20 for me. Go ahead, Austin Potts. You got something else you was trying to say?
No,
Go ahead, young man, Charles.
Come. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke.
Stop for a minute. It said, shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke. Elaine, Arkansas. Chicago, Illinois. Harlem, New York. We just talked about it the other week. Down there in Florida, Ocoee. You know what I'm saying? All different types of things have happened to our people. Keep reading.
And all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Hold on for a minute. In Elaine, Arkansas, they set up the Farmers and Household Union to come up against the oppressor for wages. Keep reading.
Until thou be destroyed.
And they got killed for it. 200 women and children. I'm not going to say men. I'm saying women and children purposely. Why? Because anybody that can fix their mind to say that we're going to send 500 troops down to kill farmers, is something wrong with you. Keep reading in that same scripture.
And until thou perish quickly. Because of the wickedness of thy doing.
Start right there. It said, until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doing. Now, am I saying my brothers in Elaine were wicked? I'm not. Moses did. You want to know why we wicked? Because we refuse to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's why we wicked. We as a people are wicked. Not an individual. We're not individualites. We're Israelites. What one does, the whole house is charged of being guilty of. So when one sins, the Most High ain't dealing with none of us. Keep reading.
Come. Whereby thou hast forsaken me.
We have forgot the Most High and what Moses told us to do according to the Most High. Why? Because we have a love affair for the other nations. We see what the other nations are doing. It makes us want to do what other nations are doing. We want to do what they do. They want to be homosexual. We got to be homosexual. They want to be drug dealers. We got to be drug dealers. They want to be school shooters. I hate to say it, but eventually, if Christ don't come back, you're going to have a black school shooter. Because black folk want to be like the oppressor. So bad. So bad. Give me verse 25, same chapter.
Come. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemy.
What caused thee to be what?
Smitten before thine enemy.
Wow. Austin Apache, look up the definition of smitten. Smitten, before thine enemies. He's going to cause you to be... I'm angry right now for the simple fact that our people don't even understand how good the Most High is to us. We really don't understand how good we got it being a part of, the Most High's royal family. That's what I'm gonna say. The house of Israel, the nation of Israel. The children, the daughters and sons of Jacob. We are truly a special people. But because we choose to do other things, we are smitten before thine enemies. Go ahead. What's that definition of Officer Napash?
It's according to the Bible, smitten, to strike sharply or heavily, especially with the hand or an implement held in the hand.
Wow. So it sounds like you're getting beat. You're getting beat. You're getting beat up all the time. Keep going, Officer Napash.
Also got another definition.
Go ahead.
To kill or severely injure by smitten.
Oh, okay. I like that one right there. Read that again.
To kill or severely injure by smitten.
All right, so this is what we're finna do. It say the Lord shall, this verse 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be killed before thy enemies. You see what I'm saying? That's it, Austin Price. That's it. We're going to continue on with that verse, though. Let young man Charles get that mic back. What you just said, though, that second definition is so heavy because that's what we've been talking about all night. You know, being killed by the enemy. The enemy sent out 500 soldiers to kill black farmers. We talking about farmers. Farmers now. And look, they not dealing with, you know, your food stores as farming. No, they dealing with your clothing, cotton. You know, they dealing with the bandages, cotton, stuff, you know, the simple thing that you ain't even think about. Our garments, cotton. You thinking about, you coming up against people that are picking cotton? I'm talking about, their hands are pricked from the thorns of the cotton balls. Picking it off the cotton, you know, the cotton stalk. Come on, man. You want to go to war with these folks? And all they want to do is get better wages? Keep reading.
Thou shalt go out one way against them.
Oh, wait a minute. Our brothers and sisters in Elaine, Arkansas, went into the church and armed themselves inside that church, right? And tried to protect themselves. Keep going.
And flee 7 ways before them.
Uh-huh.
And shalt be removed until all the kingdoms of the earth.
All right, let me give you a kingdom of America. One kingdom of America is called a prison house. Some of our brothers in Elaine, Arkansas, after that massacre, they went to jail. We just read about the Supreme Court having to overturn their sentence because it was unjust. So look, the Most High ain't playing. He ain't playing. This book is real. Let me hold it up for you. This is real. This is real. This is real. The Holy Bible, the scriptures, is real.
Right.
Everything that's in our prophecies and all, everything is real. We can see it every day. One more scripture and we gonna be out of here. We just read 25. Give me Deuteronomy, because we stand right here. We stand right here where these curses at. Because people don't understand, especially Christians. Oh, we don't live in the Old Testament. I do. The Most High wrote it. He wrote it with his finger and gave it to Moses. And Moses presented it to the children of Israel. So if God gave it to Moses and it was good enough for Moses, doggone it, good enough for me. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 31, last scripture.
Come, sir. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
Keep going.
And thou shalt not eat thereof.
Uh-huh.
Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face.
Uh-huh.
And shalt not be restored to thee.
Uh-huh.
Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemy.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt have none to rescue them.
Now listen at that. Listen at that. Now, everything that was just read in verse 31, those are animals that you will find in the field. You'll find them in the cotton field like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that ox, you know what I'm saying, gonna plow that field up for you. You know what I'm saying? The donkey, that ass, he's gonna draw that wagon for you with your cotton on it. And then, you know, that sheep right there, you know what I'm saying, if you get a little hungry, you know, catch it by the neck and put them on there and eat them up pretty good. But you ain't gonna get none of that. Why? Because you want to go against the Most High. Israel, we're going against the Most High each and every day by not coming into this I.S.U.P.K and learning this truth under Commander General Yahanna. Every day you go without coming into this class. Every day you go without tuning in to one of the generals. Every day you go without coming together with your brothers. You're keeping the curse alive. I know, you know, it's hard, but it's fair, is what my granddaddy used to say. It's hard, but it's fair. Either you're going to do what the Most High say do, or you're going to get killed. It's just that simple. Me personally, I want to do what he say because I like living. It's some stuff out here that I like to see, especially, my rib. So, and when you look at the black woman, the Hispanic woman, the Native American woman, you got the beautifulest woman on the planet. So why you wouldn't want to live in righteousness so that you and your woman and your children, your family, can live prosperly? They can live in a blessing. But because we choose our lifestyle the way it is what it is. With that, I pass the class over to Austin DePaskaya.
Give it up. It's a powerful class. Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Where the I.S.U.P.K started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come into the school, they are limited for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to accept themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother and sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry to speak. That means your camp leader or your captain in your zone. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. And the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. My Isra, that means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like. The next holy convocation is the feast of the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. That is Monday, September 6th, sundown. Okay, with that, Monday, September 6th is also, you have one of these oppressed holidays called Labor Day. Take your spirit out of Labor Day and come into an I.S.U.P.K school near you to celebrate the real holy holiday the Most High gave us. That is the feast of the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. September 6th, Monday, sundown. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, or scarf. That men of Israel, Amitem. You want to come salute? Men of Israel, Amitem Sabbat, Amitem, Barak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatham. What I say to you in Hebrew, I'm going to translate it into English. May the Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. Yah Matah, me hands down, and give another curse salute to the sister online. Men of Israel, Amitem Sabbat, Amitem, Barak, Yahweh Shema Al-Tar Bashem Yahweh Shai. What I said to you, sister online, in Hebrew, translated to English, may the Most High in the name of Slaki. May the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yah Matah, me hands down, class dismissed.